Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. This is By Hook or By Needles. I am Sam, and today I'm going to show you a few whips, a finished object, an already seen finished object, and tell you about my plans for a future sort of whips and everything. Now, for those that have been following along, I am doing Hooker by Hook, Hooker versus Hooker again this month. No, I am not an actual participant. I am just an eager spectator who likes to try and see if she can come up with something that fits the parameters that we are given. And the colors we are given were blue, green, yellow, pink, and purple. So I thought, I'm going to make a butterfly. And rather coincidentally, I came up with this idea of a butterfly because the theme was a hanging, it was spring themed, and it was a wall hanging or something. So I thought I'll make a butterfly to hang on the wall. But then I came up with the idea of making the Hungry Caterpillar for my daughter and daughter-in-law who want that book for my grandchild when he's born. And I've always wanted, with the Hungry Caterpillar, to make all his food and make his body and shove, and then get the baby or the child to feed the Hungry Caterpillar each piece of food as you read the book, because it gives them ideas it gives them names for fruits, it gives them names for colors, because you can talk about the red apple or the green apple, or you can talk about the red strawberries, you can talk about being small and large, you can talk about all sorts of things, color wise and everything else. So it really is, it can be much more tactile learning experience for the child. So I love the fact that they wanted to get that book, and I love the fact that I'm going to make these pieces. So then I thought, at the end of the book, the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, and I thought, how serendipitous! I've just already been making or planning to make a butterfly. Now, a lot of people who did see this said, I can't wait to see how this turns out. Keep in mind, when I made this, I drew this, I was drawing a wall hanging. These were going to be wire antenna. These were going to be beads. I can no longer do the wire antenna and beads anymore, simply because you can't give that to kids because choking hazards. And as Trish from Crocheting Around New Zealand so rightly notified me earlier today, the wire's going to poke someone's eye out. And the reason why she was talking about wire poking someone's ear out was in reference to this little lady who we've already seen, because I was having a little bit of a dilemma with her feathers, and I said I didn't want to glue the feather, stiffen the feathers with glue, because if I posted it at the beginning of February, it still could be very hot here, and it could melt, and then the glue's going to end up all over poor old Rita and ruin her. So I did think for her, like tail feathers, she's supposed to have tail feathers, I was going to use, wire. And Trish sort of said, no, think about it. You're going to poke someone's eye out. I thought, yep, okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. It's a good thing someone's thinking about what's going on. So, can't use glue, can't use wire. Oh, and that's the other thing Trish said. She said, look, and a lot of people have allergies to certain types of glue. So even without the heat element, glue could be an issue for people, some people with allergies. So I'm now down to 2 options. I either make the feathers and just the 4 extra feathers and send them with the doll, and whoever wins it can decide what they want to do, whether they want to put wire in it, whether they want to stiffen them. They can determine for themselves what they want to do, and they can attach them themselves. Or, and I love this idea, someone said, what about a feather boa? I think that was Kay from K&K Crochet. She said you could give her a big pink boa. And I do have, just a moment, someone's here. Sorry about that. That was my dad just popped in. He pops in every sort of day or every other day just to make sure I'm okay. So, Kay from K&K Crochet suggested a feather boa. Now I do have some Sidar Happy Chenille, and it's a thinnish chenille. So I thought, yeah, I could just make a nice little sort of chain and then come back down the chain with some slip stitches just to thicken it out and make a nice feather boa. I was also thinking I could with some, I've got either with the pink yarn or with some embroidery cotton, which I have, I could add a little pink spots to where her fingers might be and her thumb, so that she has painted toenails, fingernails, and I could do the same with her feet and paint her toenails and then have the feather boa on, and yeah, that could sort of finish her off nicely. So there's that's one of the options, and the other option was, yeah, making the feathers and sending them and just getting the person to do whatever they wish to do with it in the end. I can't believe I actually remembered that. I hope that was what I was talking about before my dad arrived. I think it was. So, now, a lot of people are saying, oh, can't wait to see, you know, your butterfly. Well, it didn't come out, you know, with the swirls or anything like that. I do have some circles. I do have this sort of odd shape. And I do have this sort of odd shape going. So I've got most of it there, but it hasn't come out exactly as you will see it here. But, you know, what plan does. So let me make sure I got the right way around. Yeah, I think that's the right way around. Here is my butterfly. What do you all think? So it is completely symmetrical. I did 1 row at a time and made sure I put every stitch in the same stitch and made it completely symmetrical. And that's what I've come up with, but I haven't finished because I want to use a dark green to do some slip stitches just to add definition to some of the colors. Maybe add some yellow around here. I was going to, as I say, initially I was going to put some white beads in, which I can't do anyway for Hooker versus Hooker because white isn't a color we were allowed, and neither were beads. But I thought what I can do now is, because after I've finished it for Hooker versus Hooker, I can add, and take my photo and send it off, I can add French knots, some white French knots or whatever to it to give that, you know, hey, some butterflies, you see them with white dots along the edges of their wings. It gives that effect. And this can be the butterfly that the hungry caterpillar turns into. I've stitch marked it to the body so I can easily sort of stitch it, know where to stitch it. Yeah, I think once I've done that, stitched it to the body, I might do one last sort of round of green all the way around. I might even do some picots in in the top here, just some, picots, just add a little bit of more texture. And because obviously, it's going to a child, or a child will be playing with it, I'm not going to put safety eyes on, which is too late now anyway. Even if I wanted to, I'm going to have to put on some embroidered eyes. So I will do that as well. Probably just do some nice blue eyes or something, and then make sure the caterpillar has blue eyes or whatnot. So that is what my Hungry Hungry Caterpillar will turn into. I doubled it up. It's also my Hooker versus Hooker project, which was a spring themed wall hanging. So this was meant to be, this is going to be a wall hanging. It's going to hang up on the wall. I was initially going to, like I say, stiffen it to hang it up on the wall, but because I'm now going to be using it for another thing, I will just probably, you could probably hang it by the tips of the wings on little hooks, or thumbtack it or whatever to the wall, so it's finished. But it's not finished yet, clearly, but I wanted to show you the progress of that. Now, Hungry Hungry Caterpillar, the first thing he eats, if you were watching yesterday, I think it was yesterday, is an apple. And here's the apple I made. He only eats one apple, so I've just got the one with a little stem. Obviously it's a green apple. I did toy with the idea of sort of doing a green and red, sort of, half green, half red sort of, thing, but no, I like green apples, and so that's what I went with. So that is my apple. Okay, so only one of these, but later on I have to make 5 oranges, and I will use the same pattern for the oranges as I've used here. So rather than just show you how to make the apple, and then when we come to the oranges, say, okay, I've made 4 oranges, here's the 5th one, and make it on the screen, or say here, whatever, and double up on the same pattern, I thought, well, I'll just make the apple, show you the apple so you can see it's done, and then when we come to the oranges, I will make 4 oranges off screen. With the 5th orange, I will walk you through how I made the orange, and I will just show you with the orange how to make the orange an apple, if you know what I mean, by making a stem and the base bit and everything, and sort of squish it together to give it that sort of apple shape. But then I will undo that and keep it as an orange, because oranges are more round, they don't have this sort of dimple effect in them. So that's what I've got so far for the food for my caterpillar. So my caterpillar, I'm sort of thinking, I've got one of these, and then there's 5 oranges, which will be the same size. So it's going to be longer than the camera is wide. And then on top of that, there's 2 pears, and then there's lots of other little things like 3 plums and everything. So yeah, it's going to either be a very long caterpillar, or I need to make it just wider. And I'm thinking, because it's a very hungry caterpillar, and because it does get very fat, I might actually just make it sort of doubly wide, short and fat, and then that way it will match more the length of the butterfly when he sprouts wings and exits his cocoon. So and then I'll have to make a big leaf for him to be wrapped in to be for his cocoon. And that is everything I have been working on in the last 48 hours. Oh, I did show you. Let me show you. And let's hope I don't get any more, messages, because I got a message. Don't you hate it when you get messages on Facebook when you're trying to show pictures, and and I'm trying to show pictures of the next sock pattern, And, you know, I get messages come up from my son because I'm stupid. He messaged me on the family group page and we were chatting. And first I thought he was my daughter. Then I realized, no, he's my son. And then he messaged me from his, you know, like own personal account. And I thought he was still messaging me from the family account. So I answered him in the family account, and then he messaged me from the private account and saying, I didn't want everyone else to know, because he was asking for the address of my daughter and daughter-in-law, so I think so that he could send them something, but he didn't want them to know that he was doing that. And so I sort of kind of stuffed that up. Sorry. This happens, you know, but anyway, that's off topic again. You didn't need to know that story. I don't know why I tell these stories that you don't need to know. These are the next socks. I think, show a sneak peek when I got the picture. It's cuffed down again. There's lots of texture. As you can see, there's knit rows and pearl rows split up with vertical, what looks to be knit rows, and it looks like perhaps you carry the orange behind that. And they change to a different sort of pattern, and then it changes to the block stitch, and then we go into a heel, which and then stripes. So very, very highly textured pattern, as all Stephen West's are. If you know Stephen West and you've seen his shawls, which are just amazing, the bright colors usually, lots of colors and all the rest of it. This sock has 5 colors. I've been trying to work out what colors I might use. Now I do still have leftover, well, not leftover because I haven't made them. I have from the socks that I didn't make last month that I stuffed up. I can unwind and use these 2 colors. Let me just move that. Now that you've seen what the socks are going to be like. So I've got these 2 colors. I haven't unwound them yet. I thought there's no point in unwinding them because I can knit straight from the sock. Like as the sock is undoing, I can knit from it. But that's got 2 colors. Then I thought, okay, do I do 2 colors or do I add 1 color just to add a bit of brightness? So the, you know, for the brickwork and, I don't know, for the, you know, the stripes and the brickwork, and put it where the orange is. Come on, move. Where the orange is. I don't know. Maybe. I don't want to use 5 colors. I think that's just a little bit too much. I've got this god-awful color here that I wondered might go, and I don't like this color. I really don't. It's a variegated. I don't think, no, that pattern, yes, it does have a slight, it does have a small portion of variegated. But this is, what's this called? It's a watercolor sock, and it says 2 identical socks. Because what you do basically is, you see the white? The white is not part of the actual design. It is the break between, I think, the colorways, the color socks. So you can see there's white there, which is about halfway, give or take. So what you do is you knit your first sock. When you come to the white part, you know you're going to stop or whatever, because, you know, as you can see from the picture, there is no white in it. It just goes from sick color to dark sick color to light sick color. I'm sorry, that's the only way I can describe it. I do not like this color. I was hoping it would grow on me. I thought, oh, it's, you know, very autumnal. I don't know. So, and it's very, very thin. It's, I think, thinner than the sock yarn it came with. At least to me, it looks like. And this is the color it came with. And I don't know. But, so, I thought I could use this. I could use this. Or I could use something really bold and go with this. So, yeah. I know I definitely want to try and use these up because I just want to get rid of them rather than have them sitting there in small little balls. So, yeah, that pattern came in. I'm going to have to start on that pattern soon. I don't want to leave it to the end of the month like I did last month because I really struggled and pushed to get the socks finished in time. So yeah, we will see what color I choose. You know, I must admit I am sort of tending to go with something like the yellow just to offset the colors, but we will see. You can see what I mean by the small, there's lots of little small balls, and I've used clothing pegs which I use as bobbins, and yeah, so I'm trying not to turn that too much into a yarn bath, but you know what it's like when you unravel something. So that is everything I've been up to in just the last 24 to 48 hours. I've almost finished my butterfly. I've made my apple. This one. I've started my stitch, Battle of the Stitches project. I have no idea what I'm doing. At the moment, I'm just practicing the stitch because I gotta admit, this stitch is doing my head in. It's the crossed half double crochet or the crossed half treble crochet, depending on whether you're US or UK, and it really is doing my head in. And I've got to come up with an idea of what to make using it. It's very gappy, so you know, I suppose you could use it as a lightweight hat if you wanted, or a lightweight scarf, or even a lightweight shawl, because I do have a whole box of it, and it is, you know, a shawl in the box. But I can't tell you what I'm doing with it anyway, because it is meant to be a surprise. And tomorrow is the tutorial for the crossed half double crochet, which I had to redo because I realized I was doing it wrong, because I was losing stitches, and that's the problem with it. It is so easy to lose stitches. Too easy to lose stitches. You really need to concentrate, and that's not a big... I'm not concentrating too well at the moment. Anyway, so I've got to come up with something. I don't know what. It is half acrylic. This one is 50% acrylic and 50% cotton, so I need to think of something to make with that. Yep, that is everything. Don't forget to put your name down if you want to win Rita. There's people that are getting, you know, up there with the counts. They've got a couple of people have got 3 chances each on the board. So if you want to get in there, don't forget to say, I want to win Rita in the comments. And you can say that once in every video that you watch, like, provide, and you need to be subscribed. You can do that for on every video for the whole month of February 2025. That's published in, put up in 2025. Yeah, in the comments. One comment per video, but every video. So technically you could have 28 chances to win if you watched every video, liked it, and put a comment down. Just saying. Okay, that's it. I'm really gonna go. I hope you are not. I don't think anyone's going to be melting like I am. My dad just popped around and did tell me that it is cooling down out there, so I don't know whether to take him at his word and turn off the air conditioner and open up or whatnot. I will see, but it's going to be another hot one again tomorrow. It's not fun. But the birds, I can hear the birds out, and that's usually an indication that it has cooled down, because the birds don't tend to go flying about in the heat of the day. So, all that prattle finished with. Please learn from the past. Think about your future. But always, always live for today, tomorrow, today, this morning, this afternoon, whatever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Whoops, bye for now.